The UN Security Council has been holding a briefing over the security situation in Mali and its peacekeeping mission there. Well, of course, according to the UN, attacks on regional troops in Mali have made MINUSMA the deadliest peacekeeping mission of all time. Now, the country has been plagued by jihadist attacks, particularly in the north. The UN said earlier this week that attacks by militant Islamists against peacekeepers, Malian troops and French forces have more than doubled over the past 4 months. Now, CGTN's Militant is keeping tabs on developments at the UN. She joins us now live with the latest from the UN headquarters in New York. Liling, what has emerged thus far from that briefing on Mali?
Well, this was effectively a situation update by the Security Council to examine what's been happening on the ground. And they heard that the situation both on the security and the political fronts have been deteriorating. And this, of course, while frustrating, does not come as a surprise. As you mentioned, this has been the deadliest UN mission for UN peacekeepers deployed. Now, it appears that over the past 3 months, according to a report by the Secretary General, a lot of which is this meeting was based on, the situation has significantly deteriorated. On the political end, we're looking at the delays and a lack of proper implementation in the 2015 landmark peace deal. Now, that agreement was made to end the fighting stemming from the 2012 uprising and also to bring stability back to the country. But that has not made significant progress, and the 2-year time frame under that deal has in effect lapsed already. Now, what that means is that functions that were supposed to be put in place, under interim authorities in the 5 northern regions, those are not fully operational, and also little progress has been accomplished in priority security areas such as disarmament of armed groups, their demobilization, as well as the reintegration of former insurgents. Now, despite the lapse in that agreement, there is, however, still strong support from the international community to stay with that deal. And we also heard commitment from the foreign minister, from Mali's Foreign Minister Abdoulaye Diop at the Security Council this session. He was attending and participating via video conference from MINUSMA's headquarters. And he had also repeated his government's commitment to implementing this peace agreement. Now, however, what we do know is that the delays in this implementation, and we heard a lot about that this session, the delays in the implementation of this agreement has allowed the security situation to deteriorate, which has also allowed these terrorist elements that we've been talking about to flourish amidst that chaos.
Of course, as you say, concerns of a deteriorating situation. But of course, this briefing comes just on the heels of the killing of 3 US soldiers, 5 Nigerian troops right along that border with Mali. Has there been any reaction from the UN or even US authorities on this latest development?
Well, as you said, the U.S. authorities are monitoring closely. We do not know as yet who has claimed responsibility for this attack. Now, for the Security Council, during the Security Council session, that, of course, was a looming shadow over the meeting. We heard condemnation from diplomats against these attacks and how this adds weight to concerns over the broader security situation. They're not just the security situation isolated in Mali, but also across the border and around the region. And it's part of the reason why the Security Council, which is looking to address the bigger problem of security and political strife, is planning a visit later this month in October to head to the Sahel region to look at how the G5 Sahel force is setting up its operations. And this is, of course, the counter-terror force involving 5 countries in the Sahel region, 5,000 troops that are being deployed there to reinforce UN peacekeeping and French peacekeeping operations there to counter the terrorist elements.
All right, thank you so much, Liling Tan, live for us there in New York.